So becoming a dad back in 2023 has definitely been challenging at times. Being on this entrepreneur journey, having multiple businesses, it can be tough, but it doesn't have to be. One way to kick off your personal development journey is nestled in the heart of Montenegro. Syro Boca Place offers more than just a lifestyle experience. It is the ultimate active lifestyle hotel. Whether you're looking to rejuvenate in this state-of-the-art recovery lab, take a dip in the 25-meter half Olympic pool with a retractable roof, or explore the stunning trails of Boca Bay, there is something for everyone. And if you're like me, who wants to stay active and experience what is on offer, so if you're looking to elevate your travel experience and feel better than when you arrived, to get in on the experience, head over to www.syrohotels.com.
I said I was going to quit in, I think it was 2018, the end of 2018. I let all my clients know, like, I'm kind of tired, I'm kind of burnt out. I wanted to try something different. How can I improve anything that I already have going on that's causing me a lot of problems? How can this be improved so I don't feel this way at the end of the day?
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Master Your Life Beyond the Boardroom. I am your podcast host, Luke Beastall, and yes, that's right, we are bringing in another international guest. Now, she comes all the way from, I hope I've got this right, Maryland, Baltimore. Is it Baltimore, Maryland?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it right. Whichever way around, we've got it right. She is a female entrepreneur. Her name is Terrina. She does business consulting in the merchant services. And I just actually want to put this out here to let you guys know on this. I love the name, Payment Connoisseur. I mean, how good is that? I just wanted to we literally just asked you, like, yeah, so what businesses, what do you do? And I just thought it was brilliant. But, we sort of connected through a podcasting group, which this is what I love with this, is the community element side of it and how you can bring people from all over the world and allow to share your story on this platform. So I'm really excited to get stuck into this, and I'd just like to welcome you in, Terrina.
Thank you so much, Luke, for having me. I appreciate it.
No, it's so good as well. And I just, even like reading your form, hearing just, obviously we've had a bit of a conversation beforehand. It's something obviously we like to do just to get to know the guest. It's really interesting sort of your journey and just so the audience, I'm not saying like, full backstory going right through life or anything, but if you could just give the audience a little bit of an insight to your business and what it is you do and, what brought you to that place, that would be an amazing thing for the audience to get to know you a little bit more.
Definitely. Well, I do merchant services, and that's my side business for right now. I'm trying to make it a main hustle, but it's a side hustle for right now.
Okay.
But my core business is a salon that me and my mom own. My mom has owned the salon for 36 years. So I grew up at the salon. That's pretty much all I know. So to segue into how I got into the merchant services business at the salon, when we were coming back from COVID-19, a lot of people wanted to do contactless payments, of course, and not take cash. So being a predominantly cash business, I decided that I need to find something in order to take payments. So I went searching on Google, like most businesses do. You find what's best for you at the time, you sign up. I signed up with Square. I got me a little card reader that attached to my phone. I started taking payments. Some people would rather store their card so they wouldn't have to do it every time. It would be stored in the system. It would be an automatic thing. Some people wanted to swipe in person. So once I started looking at my merchant statements, I realized that they were a variation in fees. So if a person had stored their card in my system, the fees were higher as opposed to someone who swiped that card in person. So I just wanted to know more. I was curious. I wanted to learn more about why that was. I started doing a deep dive into some research. I ended up finding a company that I could partner with. So I am a broker with them. I resell their services. And it's a really good revenue share. And then it's the information that I will be able to take to my community. Because the thing that I didn't know about the risk involved with the difference in fees was that if a person stores their card in your system, like I said, the fees were higher. And I was thinking it should be vice versa, because if somebody's trust you to keep their card stored in your system, that means there's some type of trust there. But in a situation where it's a dishonest business owner or is a scam that comes up, a person can say that they didn't authorize that transaction because it was stored in their system. So if like a data breach or anything, somebody
Hmm.
could come in and have that stored information be hacked into or, used fraudulently.
Uh-huh.
So that's why the risk is higher. So just knowing that little bit of information, I was like, I know a lot of people don't know this. And, that just was something that to me, I was like, that's good knowledge to share with a community. You know?
Yeah, but I think that's so what you've actually done then. So just to sort of summarize this, thank you for sharing that because, I mean, what was striking me in my mind was, I mean, I use a payment system called Stripe.
Hmm.
I've obviously heard of Go Cardless. They sort of seem in the UK especially, they're sort of like the main ones. But like you say, Square, I've heard of that as well. There's so many card readers. You have seen an opportunity in adversity, right? Because COVID-19 changed, like I say, it changed your business from the salon. So, for example, you had noticed change, as in everyone was obviously cash payments or majority cash maybe, and now pretty much everything's gone contactless. But then again, it's that safety part as well. Like obviously, there's more fraudulent scams, there's more data being breached, all that kind of stuff. So, is that? I mean, in terms of like the skill to be able to do this consulting with, obviously you've got a nice profit share with your business. Is there a skill set that you believe someone, if they're listening into this episode today and sort of go, well, that sounds pretty cool, I didn't realize you could do that. Is there a skill set that you would say somebody would need to go into that if they was interested?
Um, no, not really. I mean, if you want something, you get the information, you'll be able to articulate that you can solve a problem for a business. That's all the point of entrepreneurship is solving people's problems that
Yeah.
they know how to solve. So I mean, to me, no, it's really no skill and too much skill involved. You just got to find a company that you know is worth it for you to partner with. Um, because I feel like in the situations now, like you said, there's so many payment processing platforms for you in order to it's best to just get with one that's already have a proven model as opposed to trying to create your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you know who Cody Sanchez is. Do you know who Cody Sanchez is?
Don't you know? No, I'm not too sure. No.
I follow her on social media and she's just talking about how right now is a good time to buy into cash flowing businesses. And that's
Right.
something to me as entrepreneurs. Sometimes when we first get started, we don't think about it. We always want to start our own thing, start our own thing. But if it's already a proven system, a proven business that's already have cash flow, why not buy into that and
Right.
save all that startup part in the front end? Like throw that out the door. I don't want to be a startup. I just want to have a business that's already making money. Makes
Okay.
sense to me.
Yeah, that's a good sort of mindset because obviously I think a lot of people that are listening is going to sort of, I think eyebrows will be raising a little bit now, ears will be sort of like, okay, where's this sort of going? Because I think that's the biggest fear that most business owners, entrepreneurs have when they first start is maybe obviously they might have a little bit of cash flow or a little bit of pot saved up to go into it. Most people probably wouldn't go into it blind unless they are literally all or nothing.
Right.
But if there is someone here sort of thinking about setting up their own business, but maybe are not sort of keen on trying to raise investment or do a startup or do, I don't know, multiple elevator pitches maybe. What's your first step? What brought you into sort of? I know obviously you've witnessed it in your business, but where did you sort of look to discover a little bit more about what it is that you do today?
Just it's pretty much research. To me, when you have that entrepreneurial mindset, that's just something that we have embedded in us. It's like research it, see if it's an opportunity there for you to get into it. If it's pretty much a blue ocean and it's not overly saturated, and it's something that um is going to make you money, even if it's small amount on the side, slowly, and then you can build that business up to be something that is cash flowing and lucrative for you. Then to me is a yes.
Okay, and where did your trust get built from to actually go into this business that you're in today? Because I think a lot of people sort of after COVID, especially trying new things or setting up a new business, the trust is kind of lost. You know, 'cause I don't know what it's like in the US, but in the UK especially, we're sort of heavily getting sold to every single day. It's a bit of like no give or take. Like someone's always wanting to take something from somebody.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah,
You mean as an entrepreneur, building the trust as an entrepreneur?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, to me, like you said, it's about that community as well. You do have to be heavily into marketing, promoting yourself, helping people for nothing. Like our consultations are free. We don't charge to talk to you about your current payment systems. Take a look at your current merchant statement to see if we can save you money and fees. Just
Right.
to share the information with you, do a little education to tell you, what's the differences between our platform and the other ones. It's just that's to me how you build trust is just by sharing knowledge and information, not being a gatekeeper. I noticed that a lot of entrepreneurs are gatekeepers. They want to keep this information that's like they saying it's proprietary, but it's not really. It's something that they found online or learned from somebody else. I mean, you should be willing to share the information, share the knowledge if you want to see people succeed.
That what you just said there is really great and insightful, because it's actually sort of like, if you are wanting to set up a business, don't hold back on trying to keep the secret or
Yeah,
not allow people in, because actually the more that you give in terms of the value, in terms of what it is that you do, and you're going to, by doing that, you're going to differentiate yourself and stand out anyway and be unique,
exactly.
because no one's sort of you. So that's a really good point, because you are right in what you said there. A lot of people, again, who's setting up businesses, or maybe moving from an employed role to try and go self, like yourself, side hustling and wanting it to be your sort of dream role. It's so easy to sort of hold on and not let people in.
Yeah. But to
Is
me, we're in the age of information. It's like you can get the information from anywhere. You just want to find a source where you can feel like it's trustworthy, and the people have did their homework and they know what they're talking about. So that's to me, that's the thing where you kind of differentiate yourself and build a rapport with people, and just have a network of like-minded people.
Yeah, definitely. So would you say then, for you, are you part of a community currently to help sort of with that side of things?
I'm currently trying to get my foot into more doors to teach more people about the situation,
Oh,
especially in my city, because there is a lot of opportunity in my city as far as new businesses, new startups, new tech programs, initiatives, and everything like that to help small businesses to either get started or to help them get funding. So there's so many avenues where you can kind of present yourself as being a solution, a resource provider for some of these businesses, and so that's where I'm currently focusing my efforts into getting myself kind of like a part of their networks to be a part, like a resource.
right. So in a way, you're sort of, you've got a resource, you've got you'd be an invaluable asset to sort of what they're doing and what they're creating. So that's exciting that in your city there's a lot of fast growing sort of tech businesses,
Yes.
or small businesses up and running. I think that's actually really exciting for somebody like yourself that is, sort of in this transition. So I just love to sort of ask you, you've obviously got this side hustle business, which is the consulting. You've obviously, like you said earlier, you've had a salon. Well, it was obviously family, and it's been there for like 36 years. How long have you worked there for?
my whole life.
Have
I'm
you
I,
really?
formally I mean I went to high school and I took cosmetology in high school, and I pretty much worked there throughout high school, but officially I could say I was about 18, and I'm 40 now. So what's that?
Ah,
22 years.
yeah, 22 years. Wow. That's amazing. So the business is still standing. I guess it's got such a reputation in your area.
Yeah, definitely. We the small business. We're actually located inside of a senior building. So my mom found the space. They were turning a school into a senior building in the city, and my mom found the space, and they wanted a salon down on the first floor, on the main floor for the seniors. It wasn't
Right.
only for the seniors, but it would be like added plus for the seniors. And my mother got the space, rented the space out in 1989, and we've been there ever since.
That's crazy.
I know, right?
Yeah, and obviously you won't know because you were obviously really young. But through your 22 years of being in the salon, has there been moments where it's been really tough, like low moments where you felt like you wanted to sort of leave, quit?
Oh yeah, definitely. We talked about that earlier when I drove the school bus.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got
yeah.
I said I was going to quit in, I think it was 2018, the end of 2018. I let all my clients know, like, I'm kind of tired, I'm kind of burnt out. Is I wanted to try something different. I
Okay,
wanted to know that I could do something else other than hair, because like I said, that's the only thing I have done. I hadn't been in corporate America or anything like that. I had only been an entrepreneur. So Then something, of course, unexpected happened. My mom got sick, so I had to come right back after I said I was going to take a break. I had to come right back. But I kind of changed the way I did things. That's another thing to me as entrepreneurs. You learn how to create these boundaries once you've
Yeah.
been burnt out. But that's why I encourage entrepreneurs now, when you first starting out, create those boundaries early.
Yeah.
You have to teach people how to treat you. You can't allow people to continue to do the same things over and over again, because if you're not telling them, hey, don't do that, or you're telling them, hey, I'm not going to stand for this, they're going to continue to do it because you're not putting that boundary in place to let them know that that's not acceptable to you. So I always encourage, when you start a business, to make sure that you have boundaries set in place. Like, what are your office hours? What time are you going to not talk to people? What time are you going to be focused on just this part of your work? Set out a schedule. You have to have these things in place because entrepreneurship takes a great deal of self-discipline. And if you are not self-disciplined, you will fail fast.
Yeah, so this is really good then. So I'm guessing from what you're sharing, because I'm just like nodding my head here, like, yeah, I can completely hear you because I've been on the other side. So I'm guessing from you sharing this now, wisdom, insight. Have you been on the other side where you've not had any boundaries and you've probably been a bit all over the place and burnt out? Has that happened to you before?
That's pretty much where the start was when we just talked about the initial question. Having to say step back and take a break, it was because those boundaries had been continuously put to the side. You would say, oh, I'm going to do this, but then somebody does something. And like in these situations with lateness, especially in the salon, you can't be late in the salon. We have a tight schedule that we have to
Yes.
stick to. So if somebody's walking in late, no call, no shows, you have a lot of those sometimes with newer
Mm.
people. Um, Situations like that, it will frustrate you and it will make you want to walk out. So that's why I said you have to put them in place early, because you need to know, stick to those rules. All money is not good money. Sometimes you will have to turn clients away. That's
I
okay,
like that.
in order to keep your peace.
Mm. Yeah. So you obviously had that frustration. When would you say, from all of that sort of, I guess, compound effect of, like you say, people sort of, messing you around a little bit, maybe abusing your boundaries, your professionalism and your service, when would you say that you hit burnout? When was it?
That was at 2018 when I
Decided.
the first quit. That was the first burnout. Yeah.
So, at that moment in your life, what would you say if you now look back on it, back to 2018 when you hit burnout? What was Terrina operating like? Who was she like as a person? Was you just constantly exhausted? Was you just not a nice person to be around? What was going on?
Um, a lot of just questioning myself, questioning what was the next move. What can I do better?
Mm,
How can I improve anything that I already have going on that's causing me a lot of problems? How can this be improved so I don't feel this way at the end of the day? And to me, that was the burnout. I just needed to take a break and kind of step back and reevaluate. I guess they call it pivot now, pivot and find
yeah,
a better way, a better system. Sometimes the things that you thought was going to go a certain way, they don't turn out that way. So you have to kind of rethink your strategy. Sit down, talk to some people, talk to some advisors, coaches, have consultants, whatever you have. People that you can trust as far as on the business aspect, to give you some feedback, honest, open feedback,
mm,
and let you know what it is that you can do to improve and feel better about the situation. Because I mean, things can always be improved.
yeah. I agree with that. So I love what you said there about sort of the space needed. You had to sort of like turn your back on it, for a little bit, for a period. Obviously, you started having conversations with people. What in that moment where you were sort of low, in burnout, questioning where do I go from here? What am I going to do with my life? A lot of people are sort of have those life crises where it's like, I have no idea what I want to do. What was the best feedback that you received in that moment to help you sort of think, light bulb, I'm now going to look at moving into this, or just change a direction, change a pace?
um I can't say it was one specific thing from one specific person, but it was a collection of things that I was looking for. Like, I started to learn more about wealth, learn more about just saving better, budgeting better, doing
Okay.
better, putting systems in place for when clients do come. I had to have a more pretty much a better foundation of my business, of how people were coming in, how I was attracting business, how they were being treated on my end. What did I need to have in place for when they did schedule an appointment? What did I have there so they can see the boundaries clearly set in place, so they would know from then on that if you were this amount late, then you had to pay a late fee, or if you this many times canceled the appointment, then people had to find somebody else to do your hair. Because I certain things I just didn't want to do anymore. I'm
Yes.
tired of those things, and I don't want to. What's what they say? What's the word for you keep doing the same thing expecting different results?
Yeah.
Insanity.
Yeah.
It's
Insanity.
insanity.
Yeah.
You can't keep doing the same things and expecting different results. So you have to change some things up. And that's what I did.
Oh no, I like that. So really, you took that space, you slowed down a little bit to sort of take, because so obviously you'd been so much in the business
Yeah.
that you sort of came out and then you
Yeah.
looked on the business, which this is a sort of, I think this happens a lot with us as business owners and people that want to make a serious change, because we don't really ever look on it or work on it. We're always in it or out
Yeah.
of it, in, out, in, out. But mainly we're just in it and never off.
Right.
Right. So for you, if you could just pick out one boundary that has been sort of the most effective for you. I know obviously we could talk about the salon a little bit here, or you could talk about the business consultancy. What's sort of been the game changer boundary for you that you put in place and had the most effect?
Having a strategic, repeatable way that people can book with you. Instead of
Ah,
people calling or texting, like I know I still see a lot of salons. People call to make an appointment or text to make an appointment. I have a website with a link. So if somebody refers somebody to me, they'll send me a text. I ask you to send me a text first because I don't answer unidentified numbers. There's so many scams going on. That's
yeah,
just the way
yeah,
I. So you text me first, let me know who referred you. Then I'll send you the link so you can book. You can look at my calendar. Won't have to go back and forth. You can say, "Well, what time you got? And what time can I come?" And
yeah.
I don't want to do all that back and forth. So I just have a system where you can see my calendar. You get to pick what you want. I have a menu of options. You get to pick which one you schedule your own appointment. I get to approve or deny the appointment in my back end system. If it's good, we go. We both be there on time. I make sure that people know, please be there on time. And then just treating the people like they want to be treated. If you don't want to be disrespected, I'm not going to disrespect you, and the same goes the other way. If you don't want me to disrespect you, don't disrespect me. I have a certain type of clientele that I take now. I just don't take walk-ins. Walk-ins is not an option at my salon. It's pretty much a referral, word of mouth type of thing,
Okay.
and I let people know ahead of time too. Like I say, it's a vibe we have at my salon. Everybody that's been coming to my salon, pretty much, I've known for years. I do have a few new clients,
Yeah.
but they obviously pass the vibe check. So I say,
The
if you
vibe check. I love it.
if you refer somebody to me, they gotta pass the vibe check. And somebody will say, "Well, can I give them your number?" And I say, "Do they pass the vibe check?" And they be like, "No." And I be like, "Well, you
Eh.
already answered your own question."
All right. Well, now you've got me curious, Terrina. What is the vibe check?
It's just a way, you know how you can feel people's energy.
Yes.
When you come into a space, you can feel certain people do not align with the way you are
Yeah.
aligning
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I
And
mean, if you're in the salon, I mean, how long would you say an average client of yours is in the salon for? How much time? Is it an hour? Is it?
and that's another thing too that I've kind of tightened with my systems. I don't do like a double book, triple book. I've seen a lot of salons do that as well. Since it is me, I try to keep my focus on one client at a time.
That's nice.
So if I've timed it very well because I've been doing it for 22 years.
Yeah.
Certain
Yeah.
things take a certain amount of hours. I know how long it's going to take. So I do that accordingly on my schedule. When somebody books a time slot, according to what style they pick, I have a time already set in my calendar. So when they book it, it's already allotted for that time. So by the time this person is walking out the door, my next client is walking in the door.
Simultaneous, seamless,
Yes. And that's
streamlined
why I like
system.
it. Streamlined, tight. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I like it.
Good. And would you say you like that outside of work as well with your life at home?
Yes, very. I'm very meticulous with time and the way I even it comes down to even shopping at a grocery store. Like I tell my daughter, like, I'm predictable. I do certain things a certain way every time because it's a system. It's proven.
Yeah.
In certain stores, as soon as I come in the store, I go a certain way. I write a list out when I go to the store. I don't do a whole lot of browse, like, oh, I'm going through all the aisles reading everything. I know what I want. I write it down. I get it. I get out. I'm very strategic that way.
Well, that's great though, and that obviously saves a lot of time. You know,
Yeah.
it saves a lot of energy and saves money
Yeah.
as well. So that's sort of screaming out to me. I can feel that from you, Terrina, that you're very, on it. You're
Yeah.
sort of focused. But I say focused. You had said obviously earlier on, and we'll touch on this because obviously you've got this in you. You said at the moment you're sort of like reshaping or trying to gain back to that focus, and in this current moment you feel like you're not where you want to be. So just what do you feel is sort of in the what's getting in the way at the moment for you with that focus, just out of curiosity?
I think, like you said, just having things not be the way I want to be. Like I wanted to have the side business making a certain amount per month. It's not to that level that I wanted to be yet. I'm not at the level where I have as many clients as I want to have yet. Then I'm trying to add on something new, and that's another thing. I have obviously I have ADHD because I always want to add something else onto the plate.
All right, okay.
I do want to have more streams coming in as opposed to just the one. So it's like, if it's a good opportunity and it's something that can get me a little bit further, then I'm trying to, hey, what's that about? I'm curious. I want to know.
Yeah, this is smart though. I mean, this is something I really stand by as well. I say this to a lot of the guys that I sort of work with or have conversations with. If they're looking to set up a business, yeah, you've got to be open minded, and you can't really just rely solely on one revenue stream. Especially if you're sort of wanting to build a business, there's got to be multiple ways that you can bring it in, because one side might be going great whilst the other one's struggling.
Exactly.
Just the way of, people can keep us guessing, the market can keep us guessing, but I think if you sort of, not obviously all over the place, like you've got a system in place, but it just allows you to, have those different revenue streams, which I think that what you said there is really smart.
Yeah, I was always encouraged. I had took Tony Robbins' Wealth Mastery. I think it was 2022. I did Wealth Mastery, and it was pretty much adamant that was pretty much the main message: is don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
When people went into the stock market, they put all of it into one stock. Instead of doing that, you hit up the S&P 500, where it's different stocks that you can invest all the money into, and it kind of equally gets shared out. Then just different revenue streams that I didn't know about. That was a really good learning experience for me, because growing up where I grew up, that was not something that I'm saying. There's a lot of places that don't talk about money with their kids.
Yes.
They don't talk about how to use a credit card. They don't talk about how to file taxes. They don't talk about bank accounts. They don't talk about budgeting. So it's just something, as I got older and I started learning more about it, something how I wanted to transform the way I was saving my money, where I was putting my money. To me, if you know better, you do better.
Yeah. I'm so agree. But then again, I mean, I don't know what it's like in the US, but I know from schools over in the UK, well, especially when I'm talking, I left school in 2010, so we're talking obviously 15 years ago. There was never any sort of knowledge around finances.
Oh, so it's like that there too?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You'd come out. So one of my closest friends, a financial advisor, and obviously he'd got into that because it was a family thing, as his dad, passed it down through. But yeah, I mean, imagine coming out and then you suddenly find in your early 20s you want to become a business owner. I sort of found myself being unemployable, to be honest. I'd done employed roles and I just couldn't get along with the people. I just hated being bossed about, if I'm being honest.
Right.
But it was like, I had no clue. My managing money, and I was I still say this anyway, I'm very talented at spending money. But that got me in a bit of trouble. It's got me in debt before and stuff like that. And but this is what I'm saying. There's so many ways to make money today, but there's so many ways to spend money, right? So it's sort of it's a catch-22. It's kind of hard. So for you with this, I mean, I just want to go back to, because I love Tony Robbins, by the way, as well. The wealth mastery you did, was that in person or was that online?
No, it was online.
Oh, was it? Okay.
didn't go in person.
Yeah, because I know he used to. I went to his Unleash the Power Within back in 2019 in the
Hmm.
UK. He did like a 3-day.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. I did
UPW was amazing.
UPW, but I did it virtually as well because
Oh,
it was during
yeah.
COVID. So that's when he was doing a lot of those like big Zoom rooms.
Yes.
I went to a UPW first, and then I went to Wealth Mastery after, in 2 years later.
Okay. Brilliant. So was that, when you did the UPW virtually, is that when they made you aware of the Wealth Mastery to then look at that, or did you just keep following him after that and then decide to go for it?
I think I had already looked into Wealth Mastery, but after I went to UPW, that's when I decided that I was going to do the Wealth Mastery.
Yeah, yeah, because
I had got his Money Master the Game book,
yes.
and I had started reading that, and I just was like, I think that I should invest in learning more.
Mm, brilliant. And what's been the biggest sort of takeaway for you from this Wealth Mastery and the wealth side? Give us a bit of value to the audience.
Like I said, not putting all your eggs in one basket, finding ways to diversify your income, putting money in different places, not putting money in all one place, and never relying on stuff like the stock market. There's other options, CDs, high yield savings, IRAs, Roth IRAs. It's just a whole bunch of different products out there that you can take and invest your money in a low risk type of way that
Yes.
you should at least be informed. You should know about.
No, this is good. So you've obviously done a lot of personal development, opening your mind into different ways, and like say, not putting all your eggs in one basket. There must be, for you though, sort of going into this world. I mean, let's be honest, right? There's always fear of finances. There's always fear anyway in things we do. If someone was sort of like, say, listening and going, I get what you're saying, Terrina, I hear it a lot. I'm getting more exposed to this where people say, diversify, put your money in different parts, but fear's holding them back. And they're saying, but I haven't got money to put away. I haven't, what's helped you overcome that, maybe that mindset or that bottleneck? Because I'm sure at some stage you've probably experienced that as well.
I think the mismanagement of money is the issue. A lot of people think that they don't have. When they do have, they just put it in places where it don't belong.
Yeah,
Like
facts. Yeah.
especially in certain poorer communities. Poor communities focus on things like I don't know if you have those over there. Have you ever heard of like a rent a center or errands where you can rent out like a couch or a TV or
Yeah,
bed?
yeah, there is that. Yeah, rent it. Yeah, couch surfing or something like
Yeah,
that.
rent
Yeah,
a So
yeah,
they put those specific types of businesses in poorer communities because they know the people don't have the knowledge to be able to say, hey, if I just go to the store, set my money to the side, save it for a couple months, I can go to the store and just purchase it outright as opposed to renting it for the interest to be astronomically over my budget. People don't have the knowledge, or they go to a cash
yes,
place, or things like that are always put in poor communities to keep the people misinformed and ignorant. So to me, it's part of you as a person. You have to get you to where you want to be. Nobody else is going to do it for you. So if you want to know, you have to learn. You have to seek out the information. You have to keep the knowledge to yourself. Learn the knowledge first of all, and then share the knowledge with people who don't know. To me, that's how it goes. Each one teach one. You learn something. You know how to do it better than what you were doing it before. People don't know, so you share the information with them so they know how to do better.
yeah.
It's up to that person to take the knowledge and do, apply it for themselves. But that's still our goal as a human being, at least, to share knowledge with people so they can do better.
Yeah, and do you? And I like that. I like the sharing part. I mean, obviously sharing's caring, but also the fact that you're helping them probably not maybe create the same mistakes that maybe you once had. Obviously, that human knowledge sort of being shared is
Yeah,
going to be more potent and impactful rather than probably again just asking ChatGPT or searching Google, because it might be a bit not misinformation, but maybe be a bit contradicting. You're sort of like, oh, one person said that, one person said that. But if you're sort of having that human conversation with somebody that you can actually directly ask them questions, you're more likely going to have the answers that make sense.
exactly. And you always got to put in your own research. I mean, you can't trust one source of information. You got to do
No, no.
research. Yeah. And there's so many AI tools now where you could do like really deep research. Not only ChatGPT, but you got Perplexity and uh, Grok. It's just so many different platforms now where you can actually put something into that you want to learn, that you've heard from multiple different sources. You could put it in there and just screen out the information and just, I mean, it could be information overload, honestly, sometimes because it's so much information. So
Yeah.
to streamline the information that you get in order to apply it to yourself, then you could use a tool like ChatGPT and say, put it in your situation. I'm this, I make this amount of money, I'm trying to save this amount a week. What goal can you create for me to help me stay on a budget, or create a plan for me to pay off this credit card in this amount of many months? I mean, it's so many ways that you could just use the tools to your advantage. So it's
Yeah.
just about being smart about using the tools.
Yeah, it is. It is. And just as you were sharing that, I was literally thinking there's been so many ways that even I've utilized ChatGPT for sort of the clients I work with, sort of messaging, offerings, marketing, all that kind of stuff. Not
Exactly.
literally copy paste, but just for the idea that the sort of foundation part. And it is a useful tool and something that can really help. So, sort of, obviously you're in the entrepreneurial space. When did you sort of know, Terrina, in you as a person, that you thought, I know I'm capable of more. I know that there's more out there for me to explore as a human being to go after what I want?
I think that was part of the 2018 breakdown that I had. The
Yeah.
business breakdown that I had.
We keep going back to that same one, yeah. Yeah.
It's the same one because I really just think about that time. I just was so like disgusted. Like I just know that it was more that I could be knowing, learning, doing. And I just felt that I just needed to do that for me. That was
Yeah.
that time, 2018. 2018 pretty much was it. And then, I mean, I hit a couple little bumps after that too, because, like sometimes you come to, like you said, a bottleneck and you trying to figure things out, but then you hit a wall. So you got to find a way to maneuver around it.
Yeah, so this bus sort of bus driver journey and stuff, obviously that was a couple of years. That was obviously after 2018, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Just
that
so
was 2020.
yeah, so you had a couple. So from 2018 to 2020, what was happening there? Was you just sort of hitting a bump and a bump and a bump and sort of figuring out?
Well, no, like I said, I had thought I had quit the salon, but I didn't actually quit the salon because,
Yeah,
like I said, I own it with my mom. So my
yeah,
mom got sick. And so I had to go back in to take care of the business while she was sick.
mm-hmm.
So at that time, that's when I started to create the systems and make it better. Try to improve streamline the situation there, which I did. And then after that, I just hadn't done the thing that I wanted to do, tried something new in those 2 years. I created the system, but I still was doing hair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to still figure out, like, I have to do something else. I got to do something else. So, I was like, I can get my CDL. It's not, it don't seem like it's that hard, right?
Yeah, literally.
It's not that hard. So I mean, I got my CDL, and which was a blessing actually, Luke, because it was right before Corona had hit. I had started working at the bus company in January of 2020. Um, when you start working there, you don't have to have your CDL immediately because they'll let you be a bus attendant while you're working to get your CDL because they train you.
Okay.
So I was a bus attendant. So I was making a little bit of money as an attendant. And then when you get your CDL and you start driving, you get a bump in pay, of course, because you're a driver now and you get your license. So I got my license, I think, in February, the end of February, probably like the 27th. And then in March, I think, what was it? When the world shut down, March
Yeah, it was something like towards the back end of March, like 20th,
yeah.
25th, something like that. That was what it was in UK, yeah.
I had just gotten my CDL a month before Corona shut everything down. And then I end up getting unemployment from the job because we was out of work. And the unemployment was that Corona unemployment. So that was the good unemployment.
Did you
Yeah.
have it?
So
Did you have...
it's like a blessing.
Yeah, definitely a blessing. So really what the world was telling you is this is not a space for you. This
Oh,
is...
when I quit the bus,
Oh, did you quit? Did you quit?
yeah,
Oh, sorry. I didn't know whether you quit or they let you go. Sorry, I was
no,
just...
no, no. I did it for 2 years. 2020, I
Yeah.
started. We had the time off until we trickled back in 2021. We had
Yes.
some kids. And I quit. I did 2 years. I did 2021 and 2022. And at the end of the 2022 school year, I quit.
What made you put the resignation in? What was you feeling?
Oh, the management. It was horrible. I figured, like I said, I had never been in corporate America. So I didn't know. I know a lot of people coming from corporate America into entrepreneurship, so they don't know
Yeah.
about entrepreneurship. I'm the opposite. I'm an entrepreneur. I didn't know nothing about corporate America. So when I came into corporate America as an employee and I seen the way things were going, I was like, oh yeah, this ain't for me. This ain't me. I gotta stick to my entrepreneurship because I can't do this with these people.
Yeah. What would you say, sort of things that, just so obviously that's an employer role, and just maybe what you share here in a second might relate to some of the audience. If you differentiate the sort of, we've been talking about vibe check with people, you want to get on. What sort of the vibe of when you was in that employed role of the people that you was around and surrounding yourself with, and then what's the vibe of the people in the entrepreneurial space? What sort of the distinctions between the two?
Communication, number one.
Okay.
You need to learn how to talk to people in an effective way. And comprehension as well, because not all people comprehend on the same level. So I found that people, not only did they not know how to communicate, but then when you were trying to communicate something back with them, they weren't comprehending what you were trying to say to them. And then it's just a lag in, it's a combination of lag in communication and comprehension, because not all people are at the same level. Like I told you, I was always into like self-development. So I'm always looking for ways to improve myself, be a better person. Some people are not looking for that. Some people like to be where they are, stay where they are, and don't have any accountability and like to make excuses
Yeah.
for the way they are. So that's not my type of person. That's not somebody that I can vibe with. That's not somebody that I even want to have in my space, because those type of people bring my energy down. So I need people who are there to uplift me, that know more than me, are smarter than me, or at least on my level, and trying to encourage me to do something better, and not stay where I am.
And that's what you felt then in that role, that bus driver role, that people was weighing you down and you felt the communication was poor. And
yeah, very, very poor communication and very, toxic work environment. I would not recommend it. I I know people need jobs, and if I needed a job longer, I definitely would have stayed. But I felt that if I did have another employee situation that I had to move on to something different, I couldn't stay specific in that specific situation. Some people it worked for. I know a lot of people been driving buses for 20 plus years. That personally was not for me.
no, and that's you just being honest and upfront. It's valid what you're saying. It's not for everybody. Like what you said there, some people are comfortable. They'd rather stay where they are. I know the guys who listening, will be listening to this episode and follow this platform. They know they're capable of more. Probably there is a lot of fear around moving. Maybe they have been in their role a long time. They feel a little bit trapped. Maybe they feel a bit at service to other people and don't want to upset people by leaving. Obviously, you found that you are into personal development. You want to vibe off people, good energy. I'm very much the same. Hence this platform. I don't want to be just bringing anybody on this show, because otherwise it's you just don't know what's coming, and it could drain the life out of you. Even though there has been a few of those experiences.
We all
But
have them.
yeah. Being honest, I can't say that every single episode that I recorded, I'm like, yo, man, this person is epic. Like, oh my god, like I can't believe I've got everybody. You're gonna get that. But you passed the vibe check though, Terrina. You passed the vibe check. Yeah, you
passed the vibe check.
So I just want to ask, because I love sort of your mindset toward things. I think you have got, I know we keep using the word entrepreneur, but you've got a very expansive, I like that word, expansive mindset. It's something that you're quite open to creativity. You're open to sort of, right, okay, is there something that I'm missing here that I can explore that could actually open up another door, which I think is brilliant. So for you now with your side hustle, what do you feel is missing at the moment for you to help that side hustle become your large hustle or your full-time hustle? What do you feel is missing?
I feel that I'm overloaded with social media. I think that's my thing. I'm trying to find different ways other than social media, because social media is not always the answer to get clients. It's good to have a social media presence, of
Yes.
course. So when people look you up, you are present. But not focusing so much on that aspect when it's not pretty much bringing any ROI.
Okay, so from your own experience then, obviously I know you're on social media. I mean, obviously the world we live in today, these people, they'll look at stuff, they'll just view you online, whatever, compare, whatever. Are you finding that you're bringing in more ROI away from social media via human connection and just conversations and stuff
Yes,
that way? Yeah.
yes. Because to me, that's what social media leads to. Is the leading up to the connections, the network, talking to people. So I don't want to focus solely on that. And it kind of had to shift from that as well, because you do want to be present on social media, but social media can get very overwhelming, very it's draining. And you have to remember, you have to put that balance in between, I'm a business owner and I'm not a content creator, or are you trying to be both? Or
Mm.
do you want to, it's so many questions. Do you want to be a content creator? Do you really want to? Because no, but then that's another way of income. If you do get some brand deals and you want to start promoting some brands, and that's another way to bring some extra revenue in. So do you want to do that? Then you got to keep questioning back and forth. Should I post this? Should I post that? Then you come up with a good content calendar, but then you got to stay consistent with the content calendar. So it's just like,
Yeah, it is a lot as someone that, like you say, you're like a solopreneur. You're someone's doing it solo. Obviously, I mean, you're in a partnership, but I mean, as in like you're the person that's driving the ship, right? You're
yeah,
the captain. And I'm the same. It's really nice to hear though that your perspective is that most of your deals and the most of your business revenue is coming not from social media
no,
or being heavily active on there. That's good, because obviously, I've had marketing gurus, marketing experts on this platform as well. And obviously, everyone will say what they want to say and go, you've got to have a social media presence. If you don't know how to post content, or you don't post every single day, Gary Vaynerchuk say 3 times a day, we
yeah,
see this, we hear it a lot. Like, if you're not posting this, you will get lost in the noise, blah, you'll never stand out. But that in itself, to sort of hear that, if you're someone that's going, yeah, well, I've got this idea and I want to set up a business, and you hear that, it's going to instantly overwhelm you. It's going to
yeah.
put you off, isn't it?
It's overwhelming and it's discouraging, because you get started on social media, and I know a lot of people made their big amounts of money during Corona, when everybody was stuck in the house during COVID-19, because so many people stuck in the house, they was bored, and they just started creating videos, and they rapidly grew a
Yes.
community on TikTok, and then people started getting like large amounts of money.
Yeah.
But like I said before too, if you don't know what to do with the money when you get the money, that's a problem. So I know you heard of rappers or celebrities making exorbitant amounts of money and dropping the ball because they didn't know what to do with it. They start trusting people or just buying houses and cars or stuff like that. That's not the answer. You have to know how to invest the money to continuously make money for you. And that's what I always think about. Like, if I ever come into a large lump sum of money, I know that's another show, how I won a lottery or something like that. And
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
for like 2 years later, I don't understand. Well, I understand, because they don't know what to do with their money. They
Just,
buying
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you have to know how to put the money in a place where it's consistently making money for you and working for you, and you not working for the money.
Yeah. So I think that's absolutely right. I mean, we hear it a lot over here as well. People, really drying out all the millions that they won on the lottery and all that kind of stuff. And it is the mindset. It's sort of like, again, it's the speed, isn't it? It's like instant hit or instant, gratification hit of all this money that's just come from, maybe getting a ticket week. And then it's like, what do I do now? And you just get overexcited, and before you know it, the money's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, because your mindset's not backed it up. Obviously, what you've sort of done, you're engineering a mindset, and you've got the knowledge to sort of build these multiple revenue streams in your business. And may for you though, you may feel it's a slow sort of process or slow progress, but those sort of process wins, and they are stacking up, and it's going to obviously have a compound effect like it would if you put, money in a stock, for example.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's people don't know about compound interest. They need to learn about that.
Yeah, it's something that, I mean, obviously I'm quite into fitness as well, and I sort of talk about this through the consistency element. Maybe the day to day, if you look at it day to day, you might go, what's the point?
Right.
Not much is changing. I can't see the difference. Well, yeah, because you're seeing it, you're looking at it every day. Just leave it. Let it
Leave it.
just
Yeah,
just keep going, keep showing up, and then before you know it, it's like a year. You go, whoa, something's hit. Whoa,
Right.
or it might be down, but so what? But what I'm saying is, it's that non-linear. It's that sort of I guess risk that's involved with it, but you'll always sort of come out the other side.
Well, that's our problems as humans now with social media. It has messed up our ability to stay focused on one task for too long. It's like, the instant dopamine hit when you scroll with
Yes.
social media, you got to keep scrolling. It's like you can't stay focused on the one thing for too long, because if you're not seeing something happen, you want instantaneous results. We have Amazon now. You can order a package and it'll be at your doorstep by 24 hours, So it's just, we messed up as a society a little bit, as humans, period. So that's our own issues.
Yeah, and so just on that, then, so obviously, it is instantaneous. It's like everything in the world's speeding up, but we can't keep up as humans.
Exactly.
It's like, whoa, obviously we try to, and that's where the overstimulation, the burnout, the overwhelm comes in.
Definitely.
Where do you see it going in the business world or the entrepreneurial world in the next couple of years? If you was to sort of give your opinion on it.
Entrepreneurial world, I would really say anything in the computer or tech field. To me, that's where you should have your toe in the door somewhere. Your toe should be dipped in the water. In technology, in AI, anything like that. Can you just imagine how quickly ChatGPT came up and is now like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then all the different new AI tools that come out daily on a daily basis that people are just building, because you can build something quickly on like AWS and a laptop. You can have a Mac and AWS or a Google Cloud or something. You can create an app and it could be making some type of money for you. So if you know a little bit of coding, and you don't even have to know coding no more, because ChatGPT can code for you too. So
I know.
it's just like,
yeah.
so many ways that you can find a way to make some money, and then find a way to put it somewhere to let it grow for you. That's what I tell my daughter. I have a daughter, 21. I tell her, put your money somewhere where it's going to grow for you. Like if I would have knew what I knew when I was her age, I would be a millionaire by now.
No way. There you go.
Yeah. So, I mean, just that's why I always tell her now, like, learn while you're young and teach your kids early what you learn late. If you know something now, teach them kids while they're young, so they know by the time they reach the age of adolescence or whatever age you felt like you should know the information, that they already know it and they already have a good steady stream of income coming in.
Yeah, and do you know what you're actually sharing here, though, Terrina, is it is simple, right? It's digestible. It's not sort of complex. It's not coming across in a way where you'd go, oh, I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's starting exposing yourself to a little bit more, understanding. I can hear a lot from you. It's understanding that wealth management side of things in your life, especially as being someone who wants to live this life of freedom through business, entrepreneurship. You've got to have management on the finances side. You've got to understand the healthy side, the unhealthy side. So for you now, then, with your business, what's your aspirations with it? Where do you want to be in the next? Where do you want to be by the end of this year? What's sort of your
end of this year? I'm trying to be at the 10K a month mark with the side business. Trying to get onto more podcasts, more. I do some freelance writing on the side as well. I'm trying to get into more publications. And just
wow.
Diversifying those income streams and saving, putting money aside and putting it in good places. I just turned 40, so I was.
Whoa, there you go. Happy birthday.
I was supposed to be a millionaire by now. I'm not.
Well, do you know what? By the time you're 50, that's going to happen.
Okay, I got 10 years then. So
yeah,
10 years, I'm trying to be a millionaire.
Oh, brilliant stuff. No, it's actually good to hear that, because it's exciting as well. And obviously, I think just a lot of people, obviously, when we get towards the end, you know, they're going to be probably wanting to support and follow your journey as well. And I think just how you said there at the end, you know, you've got this, obviously, business consulting. You've obviously got the salon. You sort of like the salon, sort of maybe a bit of bread and butter for you. We call it the bread and butter. You know, the bit of net of, right, I've got my regularity. You know, you're great at that, so you can be stricter on the people you sort of bring in, right? That allows you to keep your energy good, so that then you can look at business consultants and like, you want to build that up, and then you're doing this writing on the side. And there was something that I saw in your form which I thought was actually quite good, that you got featured in the Business Insider. Was that right?
Yeah. I got 2 articles in Business Insider. I have one that I'm about to write. I just got a acceptance from an editor for that one. Yeah, that's pretty much. I like writing on the side. It's a pretty lucrative little side hustle as well. It's still coming in through my consultancy as part of a revenue stream for that. So yeah, I love writing on the side.
Brilliant. Where do you find yourself most creative in like day to day? Like, where does it come from for you?
I don't know. I guess I'm just a creative person, but just using the tools that's available to me. I mean, there's so many good things we can use to like with idea creation. You can't use ChatGPT, of course, to write an article for you, but you can use it for idea creation, to pitch editors. There's so many freelance writing opportunities if you follow that circle, if you follow a journalist. You can, it's always an opportunity for you to write about something, just regular everyday life experiences. Or you can have situations where you write about other people. So it's if you never thought about getting into freelance writing, you should really learn a little bit about it, especially if you're trying to already have a business and you're trying to get published as a expert in your field, in your niche. That's also a way to get some credibility there without using like the regular social media strategies, you know, posting on Facebook, LinkedIn, or whatever. But it's really it's like a win-win, because not only are you getting credibility, but you also getting paid. It's a side hustle at the same time to write.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting what you share there, because I do see, I've spoken with a few marketing people, and they write for like entrepreneur sort of article pages. You know, they do a lot of writing for that as well, and it definitely is a credibility boost.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I mean, I haven't written myself, but I have been publishing in a few articles for the business and surviving COVID. Well, thriving in COVID, as
Right.
I say anyway. But no, do you know what? This has been such a powerful episode, and obviously it's really great to hear, you know, a female as well in entrepreneurship that's not just being down one avenue, like say having eggs in one basket. You've gone in different pots, which I think is brilliant. We are getting towards the end of the episode, Terrina, but I want to ask you this question, because it's one that I ask every single guest, and I'd love to hear sort of your perspective and meaning of it. So, what does mastering your life mean to you?
Mastering your life. To me, mastering your life is pretty much being pretty clear on what it is that you want, what it is that you don't want, and what it is that you want to be known for when you die. Because we all going to die. We know that. But what do you want to be remembered for? What do you want your legacy to be? If you have children, what do you want them to have when you're no longer here? What do you want them to know? You know, to me, that's all part of mastering your life.
That's brilliant. Simple, your meaning. I really like that, especially the legacy part, you know, knowing what you want. You know, most people know what they want, but that's a really sort of good concluding part to this episode. So look, if anyone's sort of listening in here and is like, I want to connect with you, I want to find you, I just want to have a conversation, like, you know, follow your journey, where's best for people to connect with you?
I'm on all socials. I have a website, TerinaTaylor.com. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. You can catch me in any of those places.
Brilliant. So we'll ensure as well, Terrina, that all your links to your social media will be placed in the show notes, so people are literally a click away from finding you. But look, final thing from me, hosting this episode, I just want to say thank you so much for your time and sharing all the wisdom and insights, and actually your your journey behind the scenes as well. That was really good to hear that.
Thank you so much, Luke. I appreciate the invitation again, and I'm happy that I can add some value, hopefully, to your audience.
Oh, I can already say that you've definitely added value. So thanks again for that.
Thank you.